Hey everyone, it's DaGadgets Guru. This is going to be my deck for this next format. Um, as usual, I'm going to call it DaGadgets. Um, as you can see, it's gadget based, but it's mixed a little bit with um, Evil Storm Thunderbird and Wind Up Rabbit. And the reason for that is they're just too good of a monster to not have in the deck. I mean, Evil Storm Rabbit is basically a 1500 attack monster because you normally search him with 10 key. So he's normally a 1500 attack monster that can bounce in and out of my field at any time. And so I always have a floating beater at all times, 100% of the time. I always have a floating beater. And I can even utilize him with cards such as Compulsory Escape Device, activate, choose him, chain his effect. Because Escape Device doesn't care if one of the monsters leaves the field. So Thunderbird and Rabbit both work as Escape Device to where I can get rid of their monster back to the deck, and I lose nothing from it. I just chain my monster. I can do the same thing with Torrential Tribute. I was actually thinking about running Widespread Dud for the same reason, because I could activate Dud, target their monster, and target like Rabbit or my Evil Swarm, and then bounce them, because it'll destroy their monster. But that's still in testing. It's been kind of iffy whether or not I like Dud yet. Because there's been some problems with the resolution of Dud, which I need to figure out if it works or not the way I think it does. So that's still in a working progress. But the rest of the deck, I'm running 2 Hammer Shots and 3 Smashing Rounds. Now, the reason I don't run Lightning Vortex is because of the -1. Now, a lot of the times people are like, well, it's a -1, but if they have a full field of monsters. I don't think I'm going to get to the point where someone has a full field of monsters on me because of the deck I'm running. I mean, look how many anti cards I have. If it does get to that point, I think I've done something wrong, or they've just got a really, really good hand. I've tried one Lightning Vortex over a Hammer Shot, and so many times they have no monsters or just like face down monsters. Like, this deck forces people to go on the defensive very, very quickly because they don't expect all the destruction in the deck and all the continued searching. Another card that I wanted to talk to people about is Void Trap Hole. I'll be doing a card tech talk on this soon. It's a highly underestimated card, and nobody realizes what it does, and it's an amazing card. But I'll be doing a card tech talk on it. This basically replaced my bottomlesses that we lost and my compulsories. I mean, I lost 1 bottomless and 2 compulsories, so I'm just going to run 3 Void Trap Hole over it. One reason you probably saw Widespread Ruin here, you're like, why Widespread Ruin? The same reason as Hammer Shot. Neither Hammer Shot nor Widespread Ruin actually target. So all those cards that say this card cannot be targeted, Widespread Ruin and Hammer Shot can get over that. Which aka basically means right now Thought Ruler Archfiend, because a lot of people are going Synchro Happy with Thought Ruler to gain life points. The build is pretty explanatory. 6 gadgets, 9 gadgets clogs too much. Opening up with like 3 or 4 gadgets, you can't come back from that. So you don't want that. You want the searching and you want the monsters, but you don't want it to where you just like can't get over it. I don't run Tengu because Tengu clogs for the same reason. If you draw 2 Tengu, it just like kills you. So I don't run Reborn Tengu. If it came back to 3, I'd run it, but it's only a 2, so I don't see it as that good of a card. Evil Storm Thunderbird, like I said, just 1950 monster that can avoid everything and just beat for days. Wind Up Rabbit is usually a 1500 monster that can avoid everything and beat for days. Dark Hole, self-explanatory, double Hammer Shot. I went with double Hammer Shot because it's like, normally I don't want too many trap cards just in case I run into a Decree deck or something. It's unlikely, but it does happen, so I want to be safe in that case. So I ran double Hammer Shot, triple Smashing, 5 destruction cards for spells. Triple Duality, obviously, explanatory, bottomless. Escape Device was a tech card, because first of all, even if I do return a monster deck, I'm gonna return a gadget, which means I lose nothing. Like, I just get the gadget back next turn. Like, it doesn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form. So this card is amazing because like it just gets me out of bad situations. It's like a compulsory. 1 compulsory because they limited it because Konami are evil people. I want my compulsories back. Damn you, Konami. But whatever. Deep Prison because I got semi-limited. Otherwise, I'd be running 3. That's actually part of the reason I'm running Widespread Ruin because I don't have 3 Deep Prisons or the 3 Mirror Force that we were supposed to get. So Double Deep Prison, double Mirror Force. Basically just attack stoppers. Like when they attack, just Deep Prison is actually really, really good. It just stops a lot of stuff right now. The problem with Deep Prison compulsory escape device is Thought Ruler. He just negates it. So that's another reason I have Widespread. Because Thought Ruler is such a ridiculous card. Solemn Warning, explanatory. Like I said, this is the tech card. I'm going to do a card deck talk on it later. And Widespread, I'm going to explain why I'm running that. For the side deck, 3 Max C. Just in case I verse a deck this special result, like zombies or plants or something. It's not always a good card in the main deck anymore, actually. And a lot of people don't understand. They're like, why don't you main deck anymore? Most of the time, if anything, it's a 1-for-1. Which I don't want to, like, sit there and hope for a 1-for-1 from, like, Max C. I'd rather have another card right then to replace it, you know? I mean, that's just how I am. I don't like iffy pluses. Because this format, like, I'll give you an example. I was testing Max C in the main deck before. First game I opened with it, I was playing against Heroes. I had to wait like 6 turns to activate it on a Miracle Fusion for a 1-for-1. And then off that 1-for-1, I drew Bottomless. So if I had the Bottomless beforehand, I would have been able to Bottomless the Shining he brought out, and like I wouldn't even have to care. So like I said, I mean, the next game I played against Samurai, so I did really good there. The next game I played against Madolches, and it did okay. Like, I think I had to wait a couple turns to use it, but it did come in handy. The next game I played against Crystal Beast. It did nothing, because they just Abundance OTK'd me. The next game I played against, like, it was just off and on. It was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad. So, it's side decked for now, and that's just that. Messenger of Peace. Messenger of Peace is for... I'm actually debating main decking this. Like, I really want to take out 2 hammer shots on a Widespread and just throw in 3 Messenger of Peace. I'm really debating it. Because Messenger just literally says, hey, guess what? Fuck you. I mean, but the problem is if I play Messenger of Peace main deck, then if I go into Exceed, I can't attack, which is really kind of troublesome. I really don't like being stopped from attacking, and Messenger of Peace would prevent Thunderbird from hitting, and would prevent Wind Up Rabbit from hitting if I have Tanky on the field. So, main deck is just not that useful, but I do side it in for decks that just, like, spam Exceeds or Synchros and, you know, think, oh yeah, I could just spam this and win. Oh yeah, guess what? Side deck Messenger, screw you. Double MSE, this is probably going to go to 3, mainly for Decree decks, and decks that rely on one single card. It's just in double right now because I really don't know why I would triple it, but I might triple it. It just depends. DNA Surgery for spellbooks, plants, like, this is actually a really good card right now. I might triple this up too. Like, when you verse spellbooks, you activate this, they can't play anything. Pretty much. Like, even if they have a spellcaster, it doesn't matter, because the spellcaster is now a warrior. Screw you. Insectors, the new Insectors, they rely on insect imitation and stuff, so you just activate this and change everything to warrior, and they can't play those cards, so, I mean, it's really good for that. Imperial Iron Wall, again, spellbooks, zombies, anything that removes a lot, heroes, anything that has a lot of banishing cards, this is a really good card to play against, so I'm playing 2 of these. Macro Cosmos, I might just drop, like, it's an okay side deck card versus plants and zombies and stuff, but I just don't know if I'll be able to draw it early enough. Like, it's just, the fact that they limited to 1 really hurt it. Like, I might side in a D-Fish or 2 to try and increase my chances. The side deck still isn't finished 100%. While I'm thinking about it, I'll actually do that. If you're wondering why I don't use Fissure, because there's too many tokens in the game right now. I'm not going to activate a Fissure just to, like, kill a token. No. That's a bad idea in my book. I don't want to do that. As for the side deck, I really don't know what the last card should be. I want something useful, but I think I've already got all the useful stuff in there. So I guess I'm just going to have to, like, play it out. And, like, I build my side deck as I go. Like, that's actually something I've been doing. I play against decks, and I'll write the decks down when I play against them, and I'll write down good sides. And then as the sides coincide, like, they stack up, I'll put those in my side. So these are actual sides that work against every deck in the format I've seen so far, not just 1 or 2. Now for the extra deck, 1 Dagusto Emerald. I don't use 2 Emerald because I need more slots in here for other things, and Emerald is a good card, but I can only use his first effect, so he's just at 1. Ouroboros, basically the semi-Trish of this format, like, it's retarded, it's really good. Shockmaster ban hurt really bad, so I had to find something else to replace it. So Ouroboros was my answer, because it has really good effects. Double Cowboy, the reason I run Double Cowboy is, first of all, it has a really good first ability. Like, I can jump anything that is 3,000 or less. So, I mean, like, its first ability is really good. But second ability is also really good. Like, when you're getting really down to time, and, you know time is about to be called, just go into Double Cowboy and then burn for 1,600 for 2 turns. It just gives you... It can get you out of so many possibilities. Gear Gian X, basically, if I summon a gadget and they Veiler it, I can overlay into him and search another gadget. It's like, okay, pop your Veiler, see if I care. It's just a really good searcher. Gets me more gadgets. 2,300 beat stick. Like, he's just really, really good. There's no way to explain it. Number 104, Masquerade. This is a card a lot of people don't like, but I actually like it a lot. It says, during either player's battle phase, when an opponent's monster effect is activated, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, inflict 800 to your opponent. Once per turn, you send the top card of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So basically, once per turn, I can just mill the top card of your deck and tell you to screw off, which has actually saved me a couple times. Like, I've actually milled, like, Dark Hole or Gores a couple times. Like, it's funny. But also, this is really good because when you're versing a deck that has a lot of stuff that activates in the graveyard, or during the battle phase, like, I versed a deck that was like a dark turbo synchro deck or something. Basically, he ran Trigodias, he ran Gores, he ran Mystic Tomatoes. So when I brought out this guy, like, his whole world just, like, shut down. Because, like, he was just like, oh, crap. I ran into Mystic Tomato, and he's like, effect? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And you can negate 3 effects with this. So, like, he's a semi-shockmaster for the battle phase. He stops Trgodia, he stops Gores, he stops, like, Searchers, he stops Swift Scarecrow, he stops Battle Fader, he just stops a lot of stuff, so I really like it. I really like him. He's able to jump Utopia, which is really nice. When you attack and Utopia tries to activate off, you can just pop Utopia. And it does 800 too, so it's like free burn. So like I said, I mean, it's just a really good card. In my opinion, Utopia, just for the times you need to stall a little bit, or you need a 25 beater, Utopia is just that easy answer where you just pop them out and just either start swinging or start sitting behind them. Black Ship of Corn, pretty standard. Like, if they make Zen Mains or Maestroke, you just Black Ship of Corn, get off my field. 1,000 damage for free. Number 57, Twin Head Dust Dragon, or Tri-Head Dust Dragon. This is a little odd of a monster, but it has helped me from time to time. When this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. If your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can detach one material from this, one Exceed material from this card, then choose one unused monster zone or spell and trap card zone. While this card stays on the field, that card zone cannot be used. Which is a really interesting effect, because basically, what I did before was I hit my opponent with, I think, Thunderbird. I think I hit with Thunderbird. Oh, no, I hit with 2 gadgets and then Thunderbird, and he dropped Gores. I'm like, okay, overlay into Tri-Head Dust Dragon, target your Gores, so I become a 28 because I gain its attack. And he had more cards than I did at that point because I just made 3 cards into 1, basically. So he had more cards than I did. So I was able to target his monster card zone, and because I made that monster card zone unusable, it screwed him up the next turn to where he had to enter his battle phase, suicide his Gores into my, or, run his Gores into my Tri-Head and take 100 damage just to go into main phase 2 to make his next play in order to synchro summon a monster out, because he didn't have enough spaces because of the effect of Tri-Head Dust Dragon. So it just shows you never know when an effect like this will come in handy.